Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Jimmy Dore Show. I'm joined by Ben Mankiewicz from everywhere. And, Ben, you know what? We're taping this show the Monday before the second presidential debate, a few days after the vice presidential debate. So I wanted to cover the vice presidential debate, but by the time you see the show, old news, right? So I'm not going to cover it except for this piece, right? Except for this. Now, your reaction to the vice presidential debate was what, Ben?
Was that I was watching the A's and the Tigers play Game 5, and I didn't see 1 second of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I read about it, and
it
it sounded fantastic.
And so you read about it, and you thought Nixon won.
Totally. Yeah.
Okay. So I saw it, and if everybody watching this saw it, you already made your own decisions about it, which was Joe Biden did a really good job, and Paul Ryan looked scared and uninformed, right?
And thirsty.
And very thirsty, very thirsty. So Joe Biden really, and so, you know, somebody made the point that when their opponents are talking about Joe Biden smiling, you know that he won, right?
Yep.
Oh, he smiled too much. Okay, he really kicked his ass, right? Except if you look over to the alternative world, this alternative universe called the right-wing echo chamber, right? They just make up the story, then they all repeat it. Now, people like to talk about how Chris Wallace is a real journalist, right? He's a real journalist. But he's not, because every once in a while, he'll go grab the crazies and pull them back in from the edge. Like, hey, you know what? We actually saw his birth certificate. It's been validated by the state, okay? It's okay. You know, every once in a while, Chris Wallace will do that.
Right, 3.5 years in,
yes.
He's calling the birth certificate thing off.
Yes,
right.
3.5 years, exactly, right? And he still never, he defended the Shirley Sherrod thing. So here's another, here's where Chris Wallace reveals himself for the craven party hack that he is. Here's his description of the vice presidential debate.
Few minutes. I don't believe that I have ever seen a debate in which one participant was as openly disrespectful of the other as Biden was to Paul Ryan tonight. And that's what it was. You can talk about the smirks, the smiles, the head shaking, the mugging. It was openly contemptuous and disrespectful. And it wasn't just the facial gestures, it was also the words. In the course of the night, he dismissed various arguments by Ryan as malarkey, bunch of stuff. I don't know what these guys are talking about, loose talk and bluster. It was really quite an extraordinary, and I have to say, from my experience, unprecedented performance in a presidential or vice presidential debate by one of the participants.
Yeah, unlike his unprecedented line of bullshit that he just slung at you with a straight face. That guy, his sperm is from Mike Wallace. Can you believe that? That is unbelievable. Yeah, sure, Biden was so contemptuous of Ryan, unlike Ryan, who only showed contempt for the American people.
These guys, I'm sure that Chris Wallace is going to apply that same standard to Bill O'Reilly and Sean Hannity.
Yes,
of course.
I'm sure, no, he's not being biased. He'd say the same thing if it was Obama being openly contemptuous, right?
Right, totally, yeah. Or Hillary.
Or Hillary.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Chris Wallace, he's even across, he takes down any Democrat.
By the way, who in America gets outraged when one person accuses another person of malarkey? Yeah, I mean, what American really gets their dander up? Did you say malarkey?
Did you accuse me of doing something that they only did in Marx Brothers films?
Totally.
Malarkey, and then stuff.
Bunch of stuff.
Bunch of stuff. Can you say stuff on TV?
Bunch of stuff and malarkey. Oh, easy, Joe. Easy, Joe.
He's losing it. He's losing it. You know what I'd like to say to Chris Wallace when he says that?
You mind if I laugh in your face?